Hello my lovelies, my name is Stephanie and welcome back to my channel, or if you are new here then welcome to my channel. I hope you're having a good day, avoiding transphobia, all of those fun things. So in today's video I wanted to make, I guess, kind of like a semi-continuation of a video I made 2 weeks ago when yes, I was wearing the same top and yes, I was wearing the same hairstyle. It's also the hairstyle I wore in my live stream. It's almost like I film all of my videos at once. Could you imagine? So yes, today I'm talking about living stealth, more importantly kind of delving into what living stealth means, what it stands for and things like that, because I get asked a lot what living stealth kind of is, what it represents for trans people, and all of those fun things. So let's dive into living stealth. So after a very quick Google search in my little search engine, thank you Google for always having all the answers that I need all the time, I found a very kind of loose definition of what being stealth means. And it's the idea of passing as your preferred gender and then leaving behind any traces of your previous life. Now, this isn't necessarily what stealth 100% means. I think it's a really good start, like it's a good kind of beginning point of what living stealth means, but living stealth doesn't necessarily mean abandoning your entire past. It just means not including it in your present, in your future, you know. And the whole idea of living stealth relies on the idea of passing. So the idea of living stealth is something that not everyone in the trans community can kind of relate to, can experience. I lived stealth. If you've seen my kind of pride video that I did, Living Proud as a Trans Person, I will link it just above. I spoke about how between college and my second year of university, I lived stealth. I completely lived stealth. Had an instance in college where I didn't tell the guy I was trans, and things like that. I made a story time on that as well, so I will link that to you somewhere. Just all the links. So I am kind of an expert on living stealth, on how it kind of changed. I moved my entire life. I moved from my home county, I moved away from my family, I moved away from my friends, I kind of left all of that behind. So for me, I guess that kind of online definition just kind of represent what I did and what I chose to do and the path I chose to kind of take. But the idea of living stealth is all about anonymity. Now, this can be for a number of things. It can be for your safety, it can be for job security, it can be for just the desire to feel safe within yourself, to not feel like prejudice is going to come at you all the time and things like that. So living stealth is 100% something I have a lot of experience in, a lot of experience in. And doing the video that I did 2 weeks ago, I kind of realised that maybe it's not something that everyone kind of understands. So as I said, as I just kind of briefly outlined, the idea of living stealth is living anonymously as your chosen gender when you pass well enough to do so. Now, there are variations on stealth. There are the idea of not necessarily passing, but not always disclosing that you're transgender. So that is a kind of stealth, but not really. I think the word stealth sounds very like ninja-like. Like, I'm just gonna kind of run out of the corner in like tabby socks with like throwing stars. Like, no, that's not, I'm not gonna throwing knives at people. It's a lot of lifting, just that. I'm not gonna start throwing knives at people. I'm not gonna start so yeah, I'm not gonna start kind of throwing knives at people, throwing ninja stars and things like that, but it is kind of like, not sneaky, because that implies that it's deceitful, but it is a very isolating experience being stealth, because it limits your friendship groups, it limits your experiences, it limits your life experiences, which can be really damaging. When you're a trans person, it can be really, really upsetting and very damaging. So living stealth is something that's very controversial within multiple communities. It's controversial within the trans community because this idea that, you know, we don't need to live stealth and we shouldn't need to live stealth. And it's controversial within the cis het community because people use it as an excuse to say that we're deceitful, that we're deceiving them. I, for example, when I didn't tell someone I was trans when I kind of kissed them or when I was looking to date them and things like that until kind of later on down the line, that would be used against me from the cishet community as an excuse of being like, she's using stealth to deceive people into being attracted to her. And so it has a lot of stigma around it, but literally all it boils down to is the individual desire to not have that pressure of being trans. And trust me, I get it. I get the idea of not wanting to walk into a building and have people know that you're trans, because I transitioned in secondary school where even though I passed, people used different things against me, and it scarred me a huge amount, emotionally, physically, all of those fun things. So I completely understand the desire to live stealth. I understand why people want to do it. I understand why it's kind of necessary to do it. There's also a different facet of living stealth that's not coming out as trans, not actively transitioning, because it's not safe to do so, people aren't ready to do so, people aren't comfortable to do so, people aren't in the right environment, people don't have the financial means and things like that. And choosing to live stealth in terms of knowing you're transgender but not actively transitioning is living stealth as the opposite gender. So it's a very kind of malleable phrase that doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means. Yeah, so it's just one of the strangest things within the community that, you know, and like I said, you know, I experienced it myself, that we have this desire to want to be stealth, and it's because what's been perpetuated in kind of mainstream media for many, many years is that trans people as an end goal have this desire to conform to preconceived societal notions of what being a man or a woman is, and that doesn't take into account things like gender non-binary, things like gender fluidity, you know, being androgynous, all of those things, all of those great things. And it kind of places this pressure within the trans community, similarly to the pressure that passing places on the trans community of like, trans people only want to pass and that's it. Now, look, I'm a cisgendered passing trans woman, so my authority on this is not law. I probably am not the best person to be talking about this at all, in all fairness, and I completely appreciate and understand that, but it just adds to that pressure of like wanting to be cisgendered passing, wanting to live stealth, wanting to not disclose. And it was only when I started living open and proudly, you really need to check out that video for Pride Month, happy Pride Month, that I really kind of came into my own as a human, not just a trans person, but as a human being. Like, I experienced a life that was different to the one I had led before and made me happier. So yeah, it was just a crazy kind of, I guess, phase in my life. My phase was living stealth. You know, people say that the phase is being trans, but no, my phase was living stealth as a trans person. But that is kind of a very quick rundown of what living stealth means and a little bit about my experience of living stealth. If you want to, you know, like I said, hear more about how I became open and things like that, then go and check out my video from 2 weeks ago. It's linked just down below in the description, and I've probably put it up the top several times now. So yeah, if you are living stealth currently, remember that you're still valid. It does not invalidate you as a trans person. Don't let people invalidate you. Don't let passing privilege invalidate you, any of that. And also remember, as a trans person, don't strive to live stealth, because you're just setting yourself up for failure, because it's just this horrifically cyclical self-hatred and internalized transphobia that you experience every day. So don't do that either. Don't do that either. I hope you lovelies have an amazing, amazing day. I hope you are avoiding transphobia at all costs. And I hope that this video has helped you in some way, although I do genuinely feel like I've just babbled on for about 10 minutes, so I do apologise for that. God, why do people watch my videos? I'm such a bad content creator. I will see you guys next week for another video. Bye!